Perfect. Hello, hello, Facebook. Thank you so much for joining. It's the Civilized Presence. You were definitely in the right place at the right time. Welcome. Just give us 2 minutes for Facebook to get this video visible. I know that everyone is so excited and waiting for this session. I'm excited too.
Me too.
I'm in. Okay, so I'm going to put this on a watch party. Perfect. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're joining us from. It's the Civilized Presence. You're definitely in the right place. Just give us a moment to bring this video on the screen. Welcome, welcome. Okay, okay. This is going to be wonderful. Come on in and let me know where you're joining us from, your city, your country. Where are you joining us from? This is afternoon. I'm right here in Virginia, and I have Sonia in the house, and this is going to be exciting, polished presence in the pandemic. So come in and let us know where you're joining us from. A moment where I have our marketing video or commercial video come on right now, just for 30 seconds. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon and welcome to the Civilized Presence. It's such an honor to have you all here. Welcome, Betsy. It's good to have you. Welcome, Sandra. It's good to have you, Banger. Lawler. It's good to have you. Izzy from Canada. It's great to have you. Let me know what country you're joining us from, what city you're joining us from. We are here every Monday and Friday. Now, some of you might not know who I am. My name is Dr. Louisa Akaizo, and I am a master civility trainer, a woman development advocate, and of course, an author for several books and a leadership expert with the John Maxwell team. Welcome, Mary. It's great to have you in the house. Come on in. Do us a favor by sharing this video on your page. Invite everyone to be part of this. We're about to have a great party. I have one of the best in the house. I am so excited here. Made out time to be here. Guys, you have no idea how excited I am. Let me tell you, this lady is so special to me. Very, very special. This is a woman who has been there for me from the beginning of my career. My goodness,
Yes.
been a long time coming, Sonia.
It's been a while. It's
Oh,
been a while when you think about the years.
absolutely. It's such an honor to have you here, Sonia. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
I'm really going to have fun this afternoon. So, guys, let me tell you who is here because you're probably wondering why is Lisa so excited? This, let me tell you, this excited, I mean, excitement has got so much, loads of stories to tell. This is a lady that I've always looked up to at the start of my career, and I still look up to her till today.
Ooh.
She remains the same. Oh my goodness, Sonia, you are beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Same as you. You look as amazing as when we met 15 years ago, however long it's been.
Oh, thank you.
You
And
too.
welcome, Coach Ivy. It's great to have you. Welcome, Justin. It's good to have you. Mary, it's good to have you. Sandra, it's good to have you in the house. Esther, it's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, there are so many people who are joining from different screens. So if I do not mention your name right on time, it's because you're not on my personal page. And I'm so excited and I want to get things really going fast because I want to be civil with my time so that Sonia will
Mhm.
come back. Now, guys, some of you have never, probably have never ever met Sonia before, and so let me share with you who she is. Her name is Sonia Bands. Sonia is a global servant of style, entrepreneur, consultant, community influencer, philanthropist, and a humanitarian with almost 2 decades as an international style and brand expert. Sonia has traveled throughout the United States and globally to destinations such as Southeast Asia and Europe, providing keynote presentations and leading engaged trainings and workshops. to Fortune 500 companies such as Bank of America, General Electric, Vina Capital, and numerous of others. Sonia has served in leadership roles on numerous boards of directors, including Leadership Charlotte, where she currently serves and served as a board chair from 2015 to 2016. Other board involvement includes Hospice Palliative Care, the Arts Empowerment Project, and Michelle's Fund. With a passion for international concerns, Sonia is a founding member of the Launch Project, a global not for profit organization serving hot lunches to children in Tanzania, East Africa, and Lily Pad Heaven, a nonprofit that supports girls and women out of human trafficking. In 2018, Mecklenburg Times named her as one of the 50 most influential women in Charlotte, North Carolina. She has appeared in national and international media outlets as a style expert, including her local television, regional and national media, including Charlotte Observer, Charlotte Today, Good Day Vietnam, and the Moulin Gazette. That's in Paris, France.
Yes.
Recently, the Chicago Tribune.
Mhm.
Well, Sonia has been chosen as a brand and style expert for Tone Networks, an online subscription for women providing style and branding tips for professional women. Some of
Mhm.
her recognitions include inaugural Fashion Icon Award, 25 Most Stylish Charlotte's Most Stylish Women. So,
Mhm.
ladies and gentlemen, just welcome.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. That's a lot. I was like, yeah, that did that too. So, but
That's just a piece of. Listen, guys, I wanted to read Sonia's bio. Probably going to be here for a really long time.
yeah, we'll let them read that later.
That's just a teeny bit of who you are. You know,
Mhm.
Sonia, I'm so pleased and honored that you made out time to be here with the work that you're doing with women. And guys, I want to let you know that this lady is over 50. Are you serious?
Yeah. Yes. With grandbabies too.
God,
Yeah,
Sonia, you look
too.
amazing.
Yes, I love it. It's taking care of myself and, starting with attitude first of all. So,
Oh,
yeah.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Listen, I cannot be old. It's impossible.
No,
I
we
just,
will age, but we will not turn old. That is an F.
no, that's not acceptable.
Not acceptable. No. Old is a mindset. Old is a mindset.
It's so
So,
good to have you here. And we have a lot of image consultants who are jumping on. Vivian,
yay! Oh, my people.
yes, we have the best in the house. And Christopher, thank you so much, all of you. And Sonia, could you do us a favor and just share this video on your page? Well,
Sure. Let me see if I can do that. I think I did. Let me see here.
yes, it's good to have you here, Chicas. That's Congresswoman from Nigeria. It's so amazing having you in the house. Dr. Tiki, it's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much, all of you, for making out time to be here. We are going to have a great time this afternoon. Now, if you haven't seen the topic of today, I don't know where you've been, but the topic is polished presence in the pandemic. And let me tell you, everything about being polished, I'm not just talking about style because I think sometimes when we talk about style, everyone thinks about fashion and how it's going to be expensive. And that's not what I'm talking about.
No, we're not talking about that. Okay. Hi.
I have brought the best of
Thank
the
you.
best who has been doing this for over 2 decades
Yes,
to show you that this works. And there is power in your presence.
there is.
So I know that a lot of us have been talking about work from home, and work from home is actually a state of mind. I
It
think so.
is. It
It's
is.
a way of thinking because it requires a shift from going to work in the office and showing up and being disciplined. It takes a lot
Mhm.
from you to be able to get things done. Now, when we think about work from home, you know, some of us were so excited because just thought, oh my goodness, Louisa, I don't need to shop anymore. I'm just gonna go to Walmart and just pick up some pajamas and just kind of slouch into the pajamas. Well, sorry guys to
Yeah.
bust bubbles because Sonia is in the house.
Yeah.
If you have never behaved well before, well, blazer, because Sonia is here. Polished presence is a thing, guys.
It is.
Our brand is a thing. And
So, do you want me to just take it from here?
yes, please do your thing, Sonia. Go for it and do your thing. Over to you, Sonia.
All right. So, first of all, thank you so much, Louisa. It has been many years that we've known each other.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh my God, we still maintain this circle of friendship and camaraderie amongst each other as women and women of color and colleagues as well.
Mm.
And so I feel really honored. I was like, I am determined to, definitely contribute to her continued growth. You've done amazing things, and I've watched you grow tremendously over the past several years, and just so proud of you. And thank you again for having me on as a special guest.
Yeah.
So when you asked me about like the pandemic and the topic, I was like, oh my God, how many of us have been on Zoom calls and you see people that are with their head wraps, their pajamas, sometimes in the bed. And I thought, there's a lot that can be said. So as a global stylist, I have clients all over, all over. I have few in my local area, but so I service virtually many clients, whether it's corporate or personal. And I have found that my executive, my high influential women are now saying, what am I going to do with all these clothes I just purchased? Or, what's the new work from home look? And I thought, remember, you're working from home, not just being at home. So there is still that word of work from home. And I thought, let me just kind of give them some tips and suggestions on you can still be polished in the pandemic. It's called my PIP approach, polished in the pandemic. And now more so than ever, your presence, this is not the time to choose the lowest common denominator to set yourself up for failure. So we have more aggregated time because we're not spending time driving, we're not in traffic and, pivoting from one place to another. So why not choose this time to say, you know what, I am still at work, but it's in my home. And we can go on and say, Lord have mercy. We've all seen all types of things on these Zoom and WebEx calls, but there are a few things that I really wanted to go over in terms of the importance of your presence at home. First of all, you're still a strong visual brand. You show up and people see you. Like, it's still so important. And whether it's your first impression or it's you've known these people at work, you still have a set of standards that you should maintain for yourself.
Yeah.
And so with those standards, that doesn't mean that when you go home, you schlep. I call it schlepping. So the question I'll get is, do I still put on a suit? Depends on if that's your work from home style. Do I put on makeup? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is still work from home. Your office is now at home, and the operative word is work. So understanding that your presence is still more powerful than ever. I still do believe in the ABCDs of branding and personal branding and image, and that is your appearance, how you show up. While you're sitting there speaking or on a meeting, people are like looking at you and your surroundings thinking, oh my God, is that how they're living? Yes, that's how they're living. And that's how they look when they don't, care enough to like show up, on 10. So your presence is more important than ever, your appearance. And for women, we all know that the communication center is the triangle of our head, where it's from here to here to here. So whether you want to dress comfortable from the bottom down, that's totally up to you, but make sure you look professional and strong in your presentation in that video. So hair is important, same as if you were going out and you didn't think people were going to really see you. Your hair is important. Your makeup is important. Your colors is important, and your jewelry. So if you see where I kind of go default to black and gold and red, I see Louisa has a high contrast with her color blouse and jacket. So all of those things that still are important, as if you were walking into the executive board meeting for a client or to participate, it still applies at home. It's work from home, not schlep from home, not chill out at home with my laptop in my lap or in my bedroom. You remember, it is a work from home situation. So your appearance is definitely number one. And I think that's the first thing that people notice when they get on these calls and they think, oh my God, is that so-and-so? Like, is that her? I think that's her. She looks a little different without that makeup. And I know that she needs to take that head wrap off. So, I've seen it all. So your appearance is still strong. Your behavior, of course, is even more important. The verbal and nonverbal communications of body language. I still talk a lot with my hands. So I'm always cognizant of, am I coiffed? Do my nails look okay? What's that doing? Because that's still part of your personal brand.
Exactly.
It's still part of a strong image and brand. And then for those who speak, this is not slang time, like how we don't want to go into slang language because it's business first, work first. So make sure that you definitely speak as if you are once again in a boardroom and you're in front of top level people, because you are the brand ambassador of yourself, even more so at home. And more now than ever, you can really manage and manipulate that to the good. So it's still important that you show up, because they think the acronym is WFH, which is work from home. They think they forget the work part. They just know it's from home. I'm at home in my home office or on my couch. And I'm like, no, you're forgetting the W. So in this pandemic, we have had people who say, what does it matter? I'm working from home. And some are not even on Zoom calls. And I thought, well, you know what? How you show it, we know that clothes change behaviors and we act different in different clothes. So I'm going to tell my age a little bit, that we can remember when we were little and we went to Sunday school or synagogue, we had Sunday clothes. And when we came home, we changed those clothes.
Exactly.
And when we went to school, at least back in my day, we had school clothes and then after school clothes. So you wouldn't wear your Sunday clothes at a baseball field. You would put on the proper attire.
That's true.
So clothes still have an impact as to how you feel. They make an impact. I act completely different if I'm in my yoga pants and my athleisure, as opposed to if I put on, a pair of black slacks and a top, some earrings and some accessories. So clothes still have the power to impact how you feel. So if you're going to work in pajamas, you're going to feel lazy in pajamas. The productivity level is probably not going to be as high. And since this pandemic, I've kind of researched a lot of the, statistics and listened to the readings of both style and branding. And a lot of people say you've got to get dressed. You have to get dressed. And you feel better about yourself. And the stats show, I think you're about 18 to 20% more productive when you are completely dressed. And so we all know that time is the currency that we cannot replace. We can't replace current time. We can always replace money. So why not maximize that and manage your perception management still? So it's still such a strong component, even more so now. You really need to show up. So I know Louisa and I, we love fashion, and we're constantly trying to accent something. She's always had great dramatic glasses. I'm always in a red lip. But for women, your makeup has to be a little bit stronger when you show up on a camera or video. Otherwise you look sallow, your lighting's off, and it can really make you age you or look older and not as polished. Now for the guys, just keep some clear talcum powder to kind of blot and shine your head if necessary. If you're conducting a seminar even if you're participating in one, because it just gives a complete look.
Yes.
So I definitely encourage you to do that. And then, of course, your body language, having, something in the background, or, you can see everything. You're not, you're picking in your hair, or you clicking a pen, or you're checking your phone. We see all of that,
Yes.
so polished is still high level professionalism.
Mm.
And don't forget the W in work from home. And I think that's what people have forgotten. They just think, oh, I'm at home. No, you're working from home, and they're still paying you to be at home. So visual presence is so much more important right now.
Yeah.
So the 5 things I would definitely tell you to do is to make sure that your hair is combed and coiffed, that you have on some type of makeup. Test yourself in a video. If you have Zoom is free for 40 minutes, practice and see how you sound and how you look to yourself, and then how you'll show up to others. And then just tweak anything, practice different lighting, and see what works best for you. But we have to maintain a high level of polished presence during this pandemic time, because I do believe that this is the wave of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it took a pandemic to get us to, the
Yeah.
situation where we're confined into our homes. And initially it was like, oh my God, I get a little break, because we got sick and tired of running and running and running and running and running from one meeting to the next meeting. But it has allowed us to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to slow down and still recognize that this is our present reality and could easily be our future reality.
Mm.
So it is, I don't call it a new normal, it's our present reality. And it definitely could be our future reality. And what we've missed, and what I've noticed, is when someone shows up virtually, or even during the pandemic time, whether it's a social distancing visit,
Yes.
is that we missed as humans the ability to pivot. I think you mentioned that earlier in your introduction,
Yes.
that the human body, when we went to a meeting, we were able to pivot and shift, and then get in our car and go home, and then shift and pivot to something else. So
Mm-hmm.
the pivot is missing, and that's made a big impact. And people don't really know what to do with themselves. So if a lot of times when I'm conducting a presentation or even participating, I encourage you to get up and get physical, like get your blood flowing, or walk around the room, or do something so that your physiological body is changing, which gives you energy, because that's what's missing with this pandemic. It's like we're going from the the kitchen to the dining room, or the bedroom, to the office, wherever your office is. So we're missing the pivot. So in order to shift yourself subconsciously, you definitely got to get your body moving, if you just have to walk outside, because the human subconsciously needs that pivot that we've conditioned ourselves for so many years that we've done. We go from meeting to meeting, but we don't slide from one room to the next. We leave that meeting. Sometimes we leave the building, we get in our car, we get in a change of environment that's constantly happening. And so you have to do that at home during the pandemic, so that your communications, your energy level is high, which is another huge thing, is your energy level, your energy level. So you got to look great. That's number one. No exceptions to the rule. No exceptions,
Yes.
because it's work. Always consider yourself the CEO, which you are, of yourself, but get yourself together as if you're working and walking into a boardroom of CEOs and very powerful people, and you included.
Mm-hmm.
You include it. And then make sure your verbal and visuals are in point. Check your body language. Look at yourself in the mirror. Practice, practice, practice in terms of how you look on Zoom or what have you. But here's the key thing, is the presence of your energy. If you're in pajamas and you just barely made it to the call, and you're clicking in and logging in, you haven't had your first cup of coffee, one eye is open, one eye is not, your energy level is going to be pretty low. It's like you have got to get your energy flowing, because energy goes where energy flows.
Right.
And so get yourself up, do some jumping jacks, do some squats, plies, whatever you have to do, drink some cold water, get your energy level up because you bring that. And that's what's missing in the human connection. If we were in front of each other, you have to share and show energy through a lens now. So definitely your energy is crucially important when you're doing work from home. So Pip, polished in the pandemic, presence is crucial. It is crucial. And it's not the time to go lax on it as well. So your ABCs and your D, which we are constantly working at, which is our digital, or I call it the social marketing of ourselves, that's still all relevant. Remember, the only thing that shifted is the space from which we work.
Yes.
And you are still an employee or an entrepreneur or a business owner, and how you show up and interact with yourself and your clients, it's still relevant. Now, if you're not seeing clients that day, I had someone, she's like, actually I saw her this weekend. She's like, I'm not on a lot of Zoom calls. I'm like, but you can't walk around in a house dress. You gotta kind of spring up, because when you show up differently and you put on the proper clothes, you act differently and you work much better. So I'm not asking you to put on a suit and your 4-inch Jimmy Choo heels unless you really want to. But at some point, when I do get completely dressed, I feel so much better, from the heels. I'm walking around maybe in a ballet flat, but it's on the heels.
Wow.
So polished in the pandemic, visual appearance, vocal verbals, nonverbals, the essentials. You're still the CEO of yourself. And energy, like get your energy together. And if you don't want to say, put on a suit, like I knew Louise was going to be dressed, have a set uniform or colors that really work for you and frame your body. For me, I can never go wrong with a black V-neck, a pair of hoops, a red lip, especially because I'm speaking, then she can definitely, pay attention to my mouth, my communication center. So definitely remember that, it just makes a difference. And work from home outfits on every website. So I'm still sourcing for my clients, and every website has what they call a work from home edit section. And so now Banana, J. Crew, Nordstrom's, it's like my work from home. But what I've noticed over the past several weeks is it's gone from loungewear to a little more business casual, but still business. So you can choose to say, like, I'll ask my client, what do you want to feel comfortable in? Is it going to be leggings and a top or a tunic? Or is it just going to be the one hit wonder dress that solves everything? And so a lot of shopping for dresses is great. I work with women mostly now. I do have a few men who benefit from my services, but I really focus on women. But I just say, choose a uniform. Choose your uniform. Let's take the guessing game out of it. If you're going to wear 3 colors, choose. Is it going to be, camo, black, and red? Is it going to be black, white, and XYZ? Just choose one. Is it going to be a dress? Is it going to be a black shirt with a bottom? But still get dressed. It's the same in building a wardrobe. Your work from home edit is your new wardrobe in the present reality. So that's kind of where we are. Wow. So I want to take questions, because I can talk for an hour easily.
Right. This is wonderful. And of course, let me tell you, I'm enjoying it. And everyone is. We have a lot of great comments already. And welcome, Masha. It's good to have you. Welcome, Ellen. It's good to have you from Virginia. Welcome, Ojum. It's good to have you from Nigeria. Ada, it's good to have you from Nigeria. Dr. Ira, it's great to have you. Sister Lucia from Kenya, I see you. Enabong Etud, I see you. Diane is good to have you here from Benin. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi. Bruce, it's good to have you. Blessing, it's great to have you. Well, some of you whose names might have scrolled up, thank you so much for making out time to be here. Just let me know what country you're joining us from. Oh, Sandy, my sister, it's good to have you here. Thank you again. The conversation is polished presence in the pandemic. What are you struggling with, during this pandemic? I know that, we weren't ready for it, so it was just one morning and the kids said, we're not going to school anymore. Okay, really? Is that okay or for this week? And so many of us were not ready. And Sonia has shared some really great tips on how, your presence is so important. Because even though you're working from home, there's the work part, which we always skip. The work is most important. You are still working. You still have to show up as someone's employee, entrepreneur, professional leader. And if you ruin that relationship, trust, credibility during this period, 99% of the chance is that you're going to go really broke. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to mess things
Mhm.
up. There is so much competition right now
Mhm.
because the internet has presented us with a flat playing field. If you scream in Nigeria, somebody can hear you in Malaysia. If you scream in Virginia, someone is going to respond in London. And so you better be showing up right.
That's right.
The minute that you ruin your trust with your clients, it just takes a click away and they will
Mhm.
get the next best person. So you don't want to play with that. And so many comments here. I think questions are coming up. Blessing says, is it proper for one to snack during a Zoom meeting? Over to you, Sonia.
If you're Zooming with friends and it's cocktail hour on Friday at 5:30, yes. Otherwise, the question to ask yourself, would I do this in my boardroom?
Right.
Would you do that in your boardroom? No. What
Mhm,
you can have is a cup of water, but you
mhm,
got to get all that done.
mhm,
You kind of, high
mhm.
level, high level. So
Yeah.
I don't snack during Zoom calls. I sometimes have a cup of water available,
Mm,
but what happens when you snack? You get background noise, you're crunching, we see your mouth moving when you're not speaking,
mhm.
and God forbid you get something caught in your teeth, which brings me to another thing. Make sure your teeth are
Right.
clean and bright. So yeah, no snacking. I don't. If the CEO of a top company was coming, you were doing a presentation or in a meeting with them, would you snack?
Wow.
No.
There you go. I love that. This is so powerful. And we have Dorcas here from Nigeria. Thank you so much, all of you, and bringing your questions. So, Sonia, my next question for you would be on the issue of personal brand.
Hmm.
I get tons of questions. Some people believe that personal brand is not for them, it's just for a certain group of people. Maybe if you're a leader, personal brand is not for me. I'm a stay at home mom. I don't think so. It's not for me, Sonia. I'm just an entrepreneur. It's not for me. I just arrived social media like last year. It's not for me. So, Sonia, can you tell us about personal brand? Why is this so important for everyone in the world? Over to you, Sonia.
It is. It's so important for like everyone that is living already has a personal brand.
Right.
And so here's the question. Did you create and manage your perception of yourself, or are you living by default? And
Mm,
a lot of people don't realize that, oh my gosh, I'm just living
mm,
by default. And you're
mm,
walking around
mm,
unbranded. And
mm,
so what you've done is you've allowed people
mm.
and others to create a brand interpretation of who you are versus who you plan or intend to be. So from a housewife to an entrepreneur, I mean, you are a brand,
Mm.
whether by intention or by default. So
Yeah.
you have to be aware that I get to create and manage. And I always say that image development and personal branding is simply perception management,
Yeah.
managing the perception of how others see me, what I can control. And that's through what I went through, like the ABCs and Ds. But you can't just like, there's not just the anything. You're
Mm,
human. You're
mm,
human.
mm.
And you have a brand. The homeless have a brand. They're
Right.
homeless. They look a certain way. We expect a certain behavior.
Mm,
Housewives, more than ever, you have a brand. You're the chief operating officer of that household. I don't care what anybody say. That is a hard job,
that's a lot of work.
a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then you manage that. Now, how you choose to manage that and show up, whether it's in athleisure or what have you, everyone is a walking, talking brand on this earth.
That is true.
We are all brands. Like I said, it will be whether by intention or by default.
Mm,
So as long as you're aware that personal branding is a thing, you are what we used to say back in the 90s, you're me incorporated. When you leave the house, you have messages and you're letting everybody know this is who I represent.
Yeah.
And so I always ask that person who doesn't think that they're a brand. And I know we've done this over the years where we have like the assessment or analogy of, if you were going to buy a car, what color would the car be? Oh, I want a red or a blue one. What about the orange one? I don't like orange. Well, guess what? You have a preference. You have a brand preference. Do you use Del Monte or Libby, the canned goods? What's your preference? Starbucks or Dunkin'? Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme? You have a preference. And personal brands are built and stay on a continuum. They're
Mm,
always reimagining, developing themselves, and staying current.
mhm.
Current. We've seen organizations that have rebranded, whether it's their logo or their slogan,
Yeah,
whether it's to capture a different audience or maintain their current audience. But personal branding, you were born personally branded.
that's
And
true.
then it's up to you to cultivate how you want to do that brand. And if you don't think that personal branding is for you, then you're choosing others to make judgments and perceptions about you that may or may not be true.
Absolutely. This is wonderful. And thank you so much, Murphy. The Seaboard is right here. Oh, I am so honored to have you. That is
Thank you.
the first image consultant, actually the first for Nigeria. So I'm so honored that you made that time to be here, Ma. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you again. So I have another question for you. So
Yes, ask y'all. Tell them to ask lots of questions. Like, bring it. Like anything. What earring? What color? Like, ask. This is your time.
question for you is, do I still have to wear a suit during a corporate meeting on Zoom, or can I go casual or corporate casual or business casual? So
So, can they wear a suit in a corporate meeting? It
on Zoom.
depends on two things. If you're conducting the meeting, I say put on a third layer or a second layer at home, just
Mhm.
like what Louisa has on. She
Got
is the host
it.
of the show. So
Exactly.
she is in the top of the top. She has a second layer on, definitely.
Right.
If you're a participant, if it's a male, I would say definitely a button-down shirt
Mm,
and or a tie if you like. But if it's all C-suite, you pretty much know that they're definitely may just have on a jacket and shirt and no tie, but
mhm.
you're still polished. So if you're not the host, you don't necessarily have to wear the complete suit. But if you are the host, up, you need to look like you are the leader in that, communion.
Mm.
Hopefully that helps.
Yes, it does help. And of course, I have another question for you, Sonia.
Mhm.
So now, how can we? So let's talk about the work from home wardrobe, right?
Mhm.
Because I have such a global audience here.
Me too.
Over here in the States, it's a lot easier because maybe you could just go online to try to shop. I hope you know what you're buying when you
Me
get to
too.
the website, right? But some people are not, access don't have that kind of luxury. Are not able to access such luxury of having
Mhm.
like a website or a stylist and all of that. So what are some of the major capsules that we should have in the work from home closet right now? Like where can they begin from?
Mhm.
Didn't have the right things in the closet. Where can they begin from right now as soon as they leave the show? Over to you.
Right. So that's a great question because you really don't. Some people are like, why would I go spend money when I'm not going anywhere? Or like you said, they don't have the luxury of a stylist or access, via the web, or are just not informed on how to purchase properly.
Mhm.
So I would say definitely start with your essentials, and I'm going to say maybe about 5 basics.
Mm.
So a pant or skirt, is definitely great.
Mhm.
If you choose to wear a pair of denim as your, casual piece,
Mhm.
at least three bottoms. I'm going to say at least three bottoms. And your pants can be trousers, which I'm not opposed to. They can be a loose pant if that's what you like, or if you choose to wear a skirt, that's fine too. Also, a dress if you're just a female, like go find a dress in your closet that's not too overly busy,
Right.
because I'll be sitting there thinking, wonder who made that dress. Look at all those designs in there. So I try to keep things as solid as possible,
Mhm.
and maybe just place like a necklace if you like that.
Yes.
But so mostly solids, a few strong jewelry pieces just to accent,
Mhm.
a white, a black, a neutral. And if you have a jacket that you already use,
Yeah.
put it on if need be. A lot of times, think I do tell my clients, you already have a lot of this work from home. Just
Mhm.
don't have the jacket on. Use your blouses, like your colored blouses, your jewel tones, or choose a uniform. I'm always
Right.
going to wear my red blouse with my nude lip or my black blouse with my red lip. I'm
Right.
always going to wear a white blouse with my studs or an open V with a hoop. So
Mm,
keep it really simple. You
mm,
need 5 or 6 solid colors that can interact with each other, maybe 2 statement pieces
mm.
and the proper makeup. And for us on web, it's going to be our eyes and our lips because that's where the communication is really happening. And so, are you going to be a little more subtle and have a nude or a nude lip, or if you're leading, are you going to have a strong lip?
Right.
So you already have the clothes. Less print is more professional on video
Right.
because it's a distraction. Like I'll be just looking like, I really like that shirt. I like the design, and it might be fabulous. But don't get so caught up in, I got to go buy an entire new wardrobe. Look at what you have. If it's a t shirt, a high quality t shirt, let it be a high quality t shirt with a beautiful pendant and some nice earrings. Just make sure you look like you put effort
Right.
into it.
I love that. You have to put some kind of effort
You
before
do.
you camera. And so welcome, Dr. Penny. It's great to have you. Welcome, Laurie. It's good to have you here. Civil Day expert based here in Maryland. It's good to have you. Welcome, Udrak Luke. She's a coach with the John Maxwell team. I am so excited and honored for all of you. Welcome.
Oh,
I'm
thank
excited
you.
to have you guys bring on your questions. The title for this conversation is Polished Presence During the Pandemic.
Yeah.
So, Sonia, I have one more question for you, and
Yes.
it's about presence.
Hmm.
I think that presence is something that is still very foreign to a lot of people.
Hmm.
And I believe that presence is a combo. It's not something you're just going to go to the store and pick it up. Um,
No.
we
No.
share a bit about what presence is because people need to understand the power behind your presence, especially when it's the right presence or policy.
Hmm.
Over
Hmm.
to you.
So presence is the energy that you bring with you. It's the essence of who you are or who you be in that situation. And here it's a communion of the web.
Yeah.
So it's the energy that you bring. You have to have presence. You come in and you say, I'm worthy to be here on the screen or in the room.
Mhm.
And so let's just use an example. I'll use myself as an example. I'll see if I can get this done. So Louisa introduces me, correct? And
Yeah.
she reads all my accolades and all these great things I've done. And
Exactly.
then I come into the room or I'm here on the show with you all, and I just go, hey, Louisa, girl, I'm tired. I don't know. There's no energy.
Yes.
You have to have presence. Presence is an inside job. Like you said, you can't go to the store and pick it up.
Hmm.
It's something that you can practice,
Hmm.
and it's something that can be cultivated
Yes.
to the highest. But it's be careful of the energy that you bring and being aware that internally, I'm worthy to be here. I have something to contribute,
Hmm.
and who I am matters.
Yes.
You don't have to be the showboat on the web call, but I've seen some of those. But you do want to have presence. It's the energy that that you bring and others experience from you. That is true presence and real charisma.
This is wonderful, guys. If you're just joining us for the first time, it's the civilized presence. And of course, the topic of today is polished presence in the pandemic. Have you
Mhm.
been struggling with what to put on, how to look? Should I come on video? Sonia, it's going to take me to my next question for you.
Mhm.
Sometimes you get in a meeting with people and someone gets in the meeting and turns the camera off. Can you speak about that? How rude that can be?
I can't stand that. Unless I'm on an informal call where it's informational based,
Right.
people need to see you. There's connectivity. It's a level of connectivity. It's another layer of connection. So when you turn that video off during a professional setting, you're telling me one or two things. A, you don't have your stuff together and you're looking broke down.
Right.
Or B, you're not prepared or you're multitasking and you have the mute, they have the mute button on.
Yes.
So being present and showing video face is a layer of connectivity.
Mm,
So be engaged. Be
mm.
engaged. That's part of the presence component is to be engaged. And that means show your face. Get it together and show your face. Be prepared.
I love it. I am just enjoying this conversation, guys. Listen, this is like food to my soul because I have been so troubled. I'm like, what is going on?
It's crazy. It's a lot going on, and people they're not they're not educated or informed, or they're getting mixed messages
Yes.
from the media about what work from home is. And, there's a couple of jokes that we love to look at, memes of, someone's in the bathroom on their Zoom call and forgot to hit the mute, or, somebody's bird or dog is flying all over the place. And so there's some memes to it. But at this point, we need to fine tune that. The joke's over. The fun is over. This is our present reality and possibly our future reality.
Exactly.
So, yeah, show your face on the camera.
Exactly. This is
Mhm.
powerful. This is wonderful. You couldn't have said this enough, Sonia. And I have another question for you, and
Okay.
it has to do with well-being because during the pandemic, so many of us have put on so much weight. You know, it's the
Yes.
first time that many of us are eating like 3 to 5 times a day
And snacking.
and snacking because
Mhm.
literally you walk through the kitchen to do everything
Mhm.
and you feel like you have to pick up something from the kitchen
Every time.
every time.
Every time.
So, what has worked for you, Sonia? Because you look so beautiful.
Woo.
I want to have all my audience like, looking as beautiful as you. What has worked for you?
Oh my God. I have put on, I don't want to call it the COVID-19. You know how I used to have the freshman 15? We don't want the COVID-19. And I had put on a few pounds, but especially in the beginning, I thought, oh, we need comfort food, to kind of
Yeah,
fill in the gap of what are we doing? We're at home. But after
yeah,
a while, this is one thing I have learned is I need to put on a pair of denim every day or once a week to make sure I
yeah.
still fit my clothes. Because, when you're in loungewear or athleisure, you just pull on and pull off. You're pulling them on and that elastic can go 10 to 15 pounds. So
Right.
what's worked for me is I had to really establish a routine of yoga and morning ritual. And then we now all cook. We've all probably cooked more than ever. I try to cook once a week. We have assignments in our house. And I buy healthy things. I bought a Vitamix, but I drink a lot of water. And I really try to think, not have a cocktail until 6 o'clock or, that glass of wine. But I
Yeah.
really just ate a lot more fruits and vegetables. And then just to really get out more, because we can get honed in, especially when that shelter in place was ordered. We were stuck in the house.
Exactly.
And just to get out and change the scenery because we're bored. Oftentimes we're bored. So I'll tell you what I did, what I've done in the last week, and I did this morning, is instead of going and grabbing the 1,000 chips or whatever I have. I call them healthy chips like Skinny Pop and Pirate's Booty. It's supposed to be healthy, but you can't eat the whole bag of them all. And so during that time when I think I want to eat, I put on music. I have like a little COVID playlist,
Mm,
that kind of keeps me, jumping and pumping along. And then I'll just grab a water or a piece of fruit. But you can get really mindless eating of just so in your workspace, have your fruit, have your nuts, have your, water bottle available that you can douse the water. And if you think you're hungry, oftentimes you're just bored and need a break, turn on some music and dance for like 2 songs and then think, am I really hungry again? But it's a challenge. We all have
yes.
thought about this COVID LBs, the COVID-19, You might not get to 19, but you're getting some lbs on us, but you got to get out and get moving. And so I'm now like really detoxing my body. And another thing during the pandemic, in terms of being polished, like I said, the honeymoon phase of this is over. This is the present reality. And I've taken the initiative to be more cognizant. I bought a cookbook. Now, y'all know, for me to buy a cookbook,
That's right.
serious. I don't do all that, but I got a cookbook for some healthy things. And I'm learning more about whole foods. I live a very clean lifestyle in terms of skincare, hair products, cleaning products, all that. But then what is the good if I'm putting rubbish in my body?
Right.
So I've learned a couple of new skills through the pandemic, and I've tried different foods. And I also, because I do Instacart, like I don't like to do any kind of
Mm-hmm.
shopping, like grocery store stuff.
Oh,
And I don't have them pick up as many chips. But then I have my grandbabies here and they need their snacks. And I'm like, one for you, one for me. So I had to cut all that out. I had to cut all that out. So, but it is a challenge. And the one thing I will say is be gentle on yourself. None of us expected this. We weren't equipped with the tools on how to manage this pandemic. This was kind of thrown at us.
that's true.
And so we're all flying by the seat of our pants, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and then where do we land? So be very gentle and forgiving of yourself for the weight that's come on. And then just try to reset and figure out, what's going to work? What's my routine? I miss going to my bar classes, bar and Pilates. Miss it, miss it. I miss the few people, I miss the camaraderie. And so now we do some Zoom classes, but that's been my biggest challenge is, missing the people in the fitness. So having to create the time for the fitness is pretty serious. But be forgiving on yourself and just reset.
Right. Oh,
Mhm.
this is wonderful, Sonia. Thank you so much. Everyone is enjoying the conversation. I'm having comments from different screens. Everyone is enjoying this conversation.
Thank you.
And I think my last question for you would be about building routines, and that's something that everyone has been struggling with,
Mhm.
and I think it's not even majority of people are kind of like screaming out of their minds, how am I going to stay home under the pandemic, the children? But I think the problem was really setting a routine that works.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what kind of routine, what has worked for you? And what can you share with
Hmm. Well,
entrepreneurs who are online? What can they begin with over time?
so I will tell you, my world changed completely during the pandemic. And then when my son and his wife went back to work, they working from home and they're on the phones. So
Mm,
all of a sudden, I am primary caregiver for two grandbabies, a 3.5-year-old. You can hear the 4-month-old in the back. He's getting antsy. But and I had to do my routine early in the morning before they get up, and then get you some rest during the day, and then allot some time in the evening. But you have to replenish yourself. One day might be different. Just say on Mondays from 6 in the morning till 9 when the kids get here, I'm going to work on emails or follow up. On Tuesdays, I need to be fully engaged because I have both of them. So I can't do a whole lot. So I've kind of did some trial and error as to what's going to work for me, and continue to tweak it. It's not set in stone. Just remember your routine is fluid as this thing changes, because like I said, we've never had this before. And we don't have the skill set to really manage this current reality. So we're all, I don't want to say flying by the seat of our pants, but we're doing trial and error. We're doing trial and error. So I get up a little earlier, or I stay up very late, which I'm a night owl anyway. And I have given myself permission that Sundays is a work day for me. I know it's my soulful, self-care Sunday, and I do that also. But in order to set myself up for a successful week, I commit to about 2.5, 3 hours on Sunday. So, what the guidelines of this is my weekend, Saturday and Sunday, that's gone out of the wayside. You know, every day's a work day. Choose if Tuesday's my day off and Saturday's my day off, then that's fine.
mm,
But I do give myself some leeway that I work around
Yeah.
the requirements, the new requirements in my life.
Oh, this is wonderful. And guess who is here? Julie Brandon. It's so good to have you here, Julie. And Reverend Rajan from South Africa. It's so wonderful to have you here. We have all, guys, let me tell you, so many image consultants and stylists and power coaches,
I
leaders
miss y'all.
here. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support because without you, the show will not go on. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate all of you for making that time. I appreciate all of you for believing in me and just for standing by me with all that we've been doing with Civilized Presence every Monday
Mhm.
and Fridays. Sonia, this is going to wrap it up into my last question for you right now.
Okay.
I want us to talk about confidence
Yes.
because every day I receive messages, questions about confidence. And you know what? This is the new normal, and most everyone here is an entrepreneur on the line.
Hmm.
Professionals, they're entrepreneurs, they're leaders, and so many of them were able to hide behind bars before.
Hmm.
Getting in front of the camera has been a problem. Can you share with us some few tips on how people can build confidence in themselves? And because you have to work. You know, I was working with a client of mine and I said, if you don't want to get in front of the camera, you're going to get broke.
Yeah, you got to get, you have to be, it's a great question. And so as a coach, I deal with people, they're having anxiety and some depressive issues,
Yes.
or the self-worth is low
Yeah.
because it's like our world has shifted. And
Mm.
so there's a couple of things that I have done and I encourage others to consider. So first, let's look at this pandemic as that's my clock, so I apologize. Let's look at this time as a moment of exploration.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going and doing corporate face to face as much anymore. Well, we're not doing that. Or for the stylists who are out there going to the stores, many of the stores are shutting down. You
Mhm.
know, more is going online. So you have to figure out, how am I going to serve my clients, or and success breeds confidence.
Yes.
So it's the small wins. It's small wins. Every time you win something small, your confidence elevates. So
Mhm.
always remember that success breeds confidence. So look at this as a time of exploration and get comfortable with being uncomfortable for a while
Mhm.
and explore things or different avenues where you can create income that's still in your umbrella as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So as a life and style coach, do I want to dabble in this and still serve my clients? And it's still related, kind of like the Coca-Cola brand. They
Mhm.
have Dasani water, they have Sprite, they have all those different flavors. So explore what else can you do that you already have the skill set for,
Mhm.
that you can also serve your clients and create income. Because, like I said, for every success, the confidence builds.
Mhm.
And you just have to be comfortable being uncomfortable for a while and
Wow.
be gentle to yourself.
Mhm.
We are doing the best we know how. We all are doing the best we know how. And so I had a moment like last week, if I be completely transparent. Well, I was like, what am I doing?
Mhm.
I feel like I wasn't making progress. And then when I look back, I'm like, I've had small wins. I drank water all day last week, every day. That's a big one for me. I worked out 5 days a week. It's the small wins with my business. What have I learned? What did I do? Did I reach out to my clients? So it's an unknown, but so we have to get comfortable being uncomfortable and use this as an opportunity of exploration to see how else we can serve clients while in exchange serve ourselves with income.
Wow, Sonia, I love that. I
Yeah.
really love that. I love your transparency. Thank you so much. I mean, we have a lot more people who are jumping in. You're just getting here for the first time. I hate to say that you're late to the party, but
Yes.
thank you for making our time. And Julie Burton says, show up. That's correct.
Show up, Julie. I love her.
Oh my goodness, this is so great. Sonia, we're going to talk a little bit about you
Hmm.
and all the awards that you've received. The one that I'm so concerned and so interested in is the inaugural Fashion Icon Award as 25 most stylish. Excuse me.
Yeah, so I've been in Charlotte
So
21 years now.
you're doing something right on a daily basis.
I do something right. I mean, I call it the cost of doing business as you show up in public. But, and I'm engaged in the community. I really like to contribute where I live in the community, and I give back. So I'm a mentor to many, 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 many. And I like to help grow people in terms of whether it's their style business, however I can help them. And so they remember that, people remember how you treat them and what you say to them. And so I've just been very fortunate. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy helping grow people and helping their business be successful. And so I just kind of do my thing and show up.
Oh my goodness, Sonia, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You everyone for making up time to be here. We're all enjoying this. And guys, please give us some hearts and thumbs up for Sonia.
Yes. Thank you.
This has been amazing, Sonia. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for having me anytime. I really appreciate it. And hello to all my consultant friends and colleagues out there who I miss seeing, and to all the new entrepreneurs. Like the key I'll tell you, do yourself first, but give yourself some grace during this time. But
Yeah.
just remember, you are the CEO, you are a brand, and people are attracted to brand identity and consistency. So don't let this pandemic get you too down. Know for a fact that you are still a professional, you are still working. The difference is your office has changed from home, you
Mm,
know, but remember that it's work first. And in terms of your work from home outfits, go up in your closet, pick out 4 or 5 things that make you feel amazing when you put them on, and then show up with great energy and presence. So,
yes. This is wonderful. Everyone is so excited. Welcome, Stacy. It's good to have you. Joanne Onyinye, it's good to have you. I'm so sorry some of you are just joining us, but you will have access to this video. It's right on YouTube and is also on Facebook, so you can have access to it. And of course, bring in your questions. If you have any questions after the show, make sure that you bring those questions, post them
yeah.
in the comment box below. Send it. And Sonia, where can we find you? You
I'm
know,
on Facebook. I have 2 Facebooks. I have Sonia S. Barnes at Facebook, and then the official Sonia Barnes, my business Facebook. And I'm definitely on Instagram at Sonia Barnes International, and also at Sonia Barnes. So my name is in my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram, and then Sonia Barnes International is my website. So,
and most importantly, she's on Google.
and I'm on Google. Yes. Google me. You can Google me.
That ready to go. You guys, when you say that, it takes a village to bring up a child,
Mhm.
Sonia, I want to say thank you, because when I started up as an image consultant so many years ago,
Mhm.
this is one woman, and we have Julie Brandon who is giving us all the hearts. They support me. They held me by the hand.
Yes.
Sonia was like, Louisa, you're gonna make it.
I said, you're going to be just fine. You're going to shine.
Oh,
Well, look at you.
there you go. She believed in me and she stood
Good.
by me, and this is amazing. And we have Diane on the line right from Benin. Diane,
Sissy, I miss you.
bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
House.
Yes.
Can go on and on. But let me tell you, if you have any questions for us, please make sure that you comment them in the box below.
And I'll answer them. You can always send me a message.
Absolutely. And Sonia, let me tell, I was thinking about this session, and I thought polished presence in the pandemic is actually going to be a series. We can finish it at one time, girl.
We sure can. We can do it again. There's more. Stay tuned. There's always more.
There's so much. And Sonia is happy to work with you if you're struggling with so many things that has to do with your image, self-esteem, confidence, whatever your style. She's happy
Yes.
to work with
Certified
you.
coach. So definitely call me.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So thank you guys so much. Thank you. And if you enjoyed this
Thank you.
we will be having more of this content. We'll be coming back to you, maybe not on Facebook Live, but probably in a room where we can show you some more fun stuff.
Mhm.
Thank you for making out time. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Louisa. Thank you all. Have a great week.
You too.
All
Thank
right. Take care.
you. And back here same time on Friday afternoon. Oh, we have a question. I'm
Oh,
sorry. How long do you think one should use to build a brand? Wow. Thank you so much. And
so good. I almost logged off. I'm glad you had that question. So, um, branding is an ongoing process. It's not an event that
mhm,
you attain to.
mhm,
So it's ongoing. So there's the beginning brand, and there's the mid brand, and then there's the high brand, and then there's the rebrand. And
mhm,
it's a cycle that we kind of go through. If you think about, I do usually logos like Starbucks. Their
mhm,
original logo was different, and then they moved into another brand. And as their um, consumers diversified, they had to diversify. So personal branding is a process. It is not an event that you attain and that's it. You
mhm.
have to stay current and keep your customers and consumers engaged, and
Mhm.
also to want to, work with you. So
Yes.
it's not an event, it's a process that's ongoing.
But that was such a great question. And thank you so
All
much.
right.
Of course. And number one, I want you to know that there is help for you and
Mhm.
we're happy to work with you. I don't know where you're joining us from, but of course, there's help for you. So please go ahead and reach out. And of course, we'll send you a message and we're happy to work with you. And thank you, Blessing, for responding. And Julie Brandon says, yes, I'm rebranding now. Okay, we're
I
waiting.
rebranded. I rebranded.
Yeah.
I rebranded a few years ago, and I had to, people knew me as this global consultant, and I really had to almost have a relaunch
Yeah.
and say, I'm a lifestyle strategist and coach for women over 50.
Yeah.
And I let them know I'm still here, I'm still knowledgeable, but I've narrowed my niche as to who I work with and how I want my public persona to be, displayed. So I rebranded and will be, doing website updates in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
It's never ending. It's a process.
Process.
It's a process, not an event.
Yes. Just the same way that you have to pivot, you have to rebrand.
Hmm.
To serve a lot more people, you have to rebrand to connect with the right audience. And welcome, Kyra. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much, guys. I'm so sorry. I hate to let you go, but I promise
I know.
it's Google because I want her to come back another
I'll
time.
be back.
Yeah,
Yes.
she has to go back to her grandbabies, and I respect you. Sonia, thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you so much. Thank you again. Thank you, Chicas Kumi. I said thank you in there. I see she sent me some notes. So thank
yeah.
you.
It's always so great to connect with you. Always so much to learn. Such
Thank
a
you.
wonderful time to have spent this afternoon with you. Good start of my week is going to be amazing. So, guys, I'm going to see you back here again on Friday, same time.
Woo.
Topic that you want us to talk about that we haven't, please send me an email. Louisa at thecivilityacademy.com. I'm happy to read from you. So many of you have been talking about relationships, and we've worked on that in the past couple of weeks. We've had about 4 sessions for relationships and marriage. Please go back to those content. I'm still receiving messages on relationships, but let me know other things that you want to learn. So
Yeah, I've been married 33 years. So yes.
you must be doing something right.
Yes, we're happy. We're happy. He's wonderful. He's wonderful. But there's
Yes.
a lot to be said about relationships, especially during the pandemic.
Oh, yes, of course.
Mhm.
Of course. There's so much abuse everywhere. So, yes, we have to have those difficult
We
conversations.
do.
Mhm.
We do. Be safe, everybody. Stay healthy.
Thank you. So,
Thank you, Louisa.
good day,
All
Sonia.
right. You too. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye for now.